Welcome to Five Boys in a Business, episode 8?
Yes.
Episode 8. You'll find Five Boys in a Business on all the popular podcasting platforms, iTunes, SoundCloud, Libsyn, awesomepodcast.com.
Libsyn? What the heck is Libsyn? Okay, first of all, that is no energy. I'm going to give you a second.
What are you talking about?
I'm giving you a second attempt to do the intro. I knew I shouldn't have let you do it, but I'm going to let you do it again and see if you can. Harrison, how lame was that? That was pretty lame. All right, let's hear it again. Ready, go.
Welcome, everybody, to Five Boys in a Business. I'm with the lovely Dr. King, episode 8 of the podcast. Please look for the podcast on all the most popular podcasting platforms, Libsyn, awesomepodcasting.com, iTunes, and you know you want to listen to this.
Right, that's much better. Okay, so today we have the next picture of the family.
Oh, no.
I brought it.
Oh, no.
Why don't you talk about updates first while I'm doing this?
Updates, current updates. What are we updating?
Yeah, what are we updating?
I don't know. Is anything going on?
Anything going on? We got back. Okay, last week. This weekend we just did a lot of stuff. Not
what?
anything like just work at the house and stuff like that. Kids just schedule, blah blah stuff like that.
Sure. Okay, good.
But last week I got back from.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about your presentation.
My
your two presentations.
Went really well.
You haven't talked about that yet.
Harrison went with me. Make sure if you're talking, you're in the mic because Granddad can't hear it. And so we went to Kentucky.
Where in Kentucky?
It was Paducah, Kentucky, and actually it was really funny because part of Richie's family is from Paducah, Kentucky, and the county in which Paducah is located is called McCracken County, which is my maiden name. And so, you are from Paducah.
What a quinky dink.
And the county's named McCracken, and I'm like, we were meant to be together. So,
Oh,
see
my God.
how funny
There you
that
go.
is?
It's pretty funny.
Just the way it works.
Pretty awesome.
So Harrison went with me. We drove 5 hours. We gave a presentation. Zoetta sent us down there to do 2 different presentations, and it was great. We had a good time. It was fun. I learned a lot. Got to see a lot.
Yeah, a lot of positive feedback. Everybody was very impressed, even though it was only your first time doing it. So it's good.
Well, I practiced and practiced.
Must be the
and practiced
content.
and
Must be the
practiced.
hook. Must be the opening story. The hook.
The hook story is what did them all in.
Must be
After
what
the
it
story,
is.
they were all in. They're
After they
like, I don't even care what you're saying. I just liked your story.
After they recovered from their violent laughter from the opening story, I'm sure that they paid attention.
Yes. So I did those things on Monday and Tuesday. So
There you
that
go.
was and the weather was great, and the drive was really pretty.
Yeah, it was
So-
hot last week.
Yeah, it was very hot. Harrison and I got down there, and we were like, oh, my God. It was like 98 degrees.
We said it's like the same though. I mean, Memphis is almost exactly due east, right?
Yeah, Memphis was not far away. Nashville was not far away. I mean, it wasn't.
It's right on the border there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois, Tennessee
It was
border.
in the lower Mississippi River Valley.
Yeah.
It's considered that area, which is where heartworm-resistant isolates are located.
What?
Caitlin Targart says hi.
Hey, Caitlin.
Caitlin, how are you?
So we were there talking about a product called ProHeart 12, which for all of you, if you don't know about ProHeart 12, you should definitely learn about ProHeart 12 because it provides a year's worth of compliance and adherence. So we give an injection. So it's delivered as an injection and it lasts for an entire year. Oh my God. I was super excited because even as a veterinarian, I can't remember to give my heartworm prevention. So
So it's also an offshoot of what product?
ProHeart 6.
So yeah, as you can tell from the title, ProHeart 6 is a 6-month preventative. 12 is a 12-month preventative. So
Yes. At this time, it's only labeled for animals over 12 months of age. But I think they're going to end up going back and getting it relabeled because some of their studies they did in 6-month-old animals. So they're going to be able to go back and get that label for 6 months, I think, and older.
there you go.
So it's really cool science, and it's considered an inert molecule because it does the amount of moxidectin, which is the active ingredient in ProHeart, is so minor to kill the heartworms that it doesn't affect the animal at all, and it lives in the fat stores of the animal.
The next
So-
we talked about this
As a
before.
preventive goes, it's a true preventive. I mean, okay, you got me on my soapbox now.
Okay, start with this and go. I don't work for Zoetis. What's full disclosure?
I don't work for Zoetis. Yes. No, I'm just super excited about this molecule because it is going to revolutionize. If people use it, which they should, it could lower the incidence of heartworm disease nationally, which instead of it's going up, and it shouldn't be. We have such good molecules. It shouldn't be going up. It should be going down.
There you go.
So Zoetis wouldn't want me to say this, but it's kind of like a vaccine for heartworm disease.
There you go. We don't work for Zoetis, so it's fine. You can call it whatever you want.
I can call it that if I want? Okay.
Sure can.
It's probably completely inaccurate, but it prevents disease.
Yeah.
And the reason I got on the soapbox was because I was in the lower Mississippi River Valley where there are heartworm-resistant isolates of heartworm disease. So that is why some of these patients are showing up positive even though they're on heartworm prevention.
There you go.
And with the transient nature.
Oral prevention.
Oral prevention.
Right.
So they're taking it once a month.
Right.
We all know how good we are at giving something every 30 days. Not good at it at all. That is a big problem.
Right.
Because how often do you give it every 30 days? It's not the first of every month. It's every 30 days.
What was interesting to me was as we went through this presentation, I helped Emily go through some of it, formatting, content, things like that, is I didn't realize that preventative, they call it a preventative, but it's technically not a preventative insofar as a dog can be infected. Then it takes the preventative, then it purges the system. So they are technically infected, where as a ProHeart, it actually prevents infection.
Right.
So it's a true preventative. And I didn't as a layperson, I didn't realize that distinction. That technically that just like kind of Capstar is not a preventative. It'll purge the system of any fleas or whatever.
Yeah.
But it won't.
Certainly, if you live in that area of the country where there are heartworm-resistant isolates, ProHeart's is a product that's been shown to be effective. So, whereas our orals, not so much. So, I think that is really exciting.
Yeah, it's really. I'm really excited about the product. Insofar as I think it's going to be just a huge home run for Zoetis because you can duplicate so much of the over-the-counter products. But over-the-counter meaning it's a prepackaged product. An oral, you give it orally, but the injectable you can't. It's just better, and it's priced competitively, so it's kind of a no-brainer.
It's actually less expensive than the orals.
So it'll be interesting to see how
it's super exciting
how the orals respond. So
yeah, it's not for everybody. I mean, you're not going to give. I mean, there are some patients that should not have ProHeart 12 probably, but anybody that could be vaccinated could be given ProHeart.
Right. This is the vast majority.
Been used with over 200 medications and drugs.
Right. So
vaccines.
It's exciting. Very exciting.
So we went and talked about that. We basically were showing the impact that product has had on our business. So.
There you go. Yeah, it was good. I'm sure you did great. I saw some video of it, and you knocked it out of the park. So congrats.
Thank you.
So
Thank
you did awesome.
So that's it. And you were left here.
Have you watched your talk yet that I put together?
No, I can't watch it.
Why? You have to
I
watch it.
will watch it in a little bit. You
have to watch it so you can make improvements.
I know. There's a lot of them, I'm sure.
Going back to ProHeart 12, sorry. Caitlin asked, how long have you guys been offering ProHeart 6 and 12?
Since 27. Well, ProHeart 12 just came out in August. So it was just launched in August by Zoetis, and everybody got a hold of it like the third week in August. So it's only been in the clinic for a couple of months. ProHeart 6 has been around for a while, but we only brought it into the clinic in 2017.
Worldwide, though, it's been around for a long time.
Worldwide, it's been almost 18 years.
Yeah, let's say.
So ProHeart 12 is used in over 10 countries. There's like something greater than 30 million doses of 6 and 12 out there that have been given. There is basically no molecule that has been studied more than this particular molecule. So it's very fascinating. Anything you give right now, there's nothing that's been given more than moxidectin. It's cool. Fascinating. Didn't know that.
There you go.
So there's a lot of things that make me feel good about it because of those things.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Glad you did great.
So you were left to hold down the fort.
Yeah, I'm a pro. I can do it. I'm a vet. I'm a grizzled vet.
And then Harrison got to go to Branson area.
Did you actually go to Branson?
Vacation.
Was it actually Branson?
Yes, I went to Branson. It was Branson. We were right next to Silver Dollar City, which is where one of our activities was, and then we also went to Dogwood Canyon, which is kind of like a state park. It's owned by the guy who owns Bass Pro Shops.
That's cool, isn't it?
So it's just like tons of acres that have trails, and there's this place where they have bison and deer and moose. It's a cool place.
Silver Dollar City. I wonder if that's on a franchise. They used to have that where Dollywood is now in Pigeon Forge.
Well, he said it reminded him a lot of Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be called Silver Dollar City, and then it was bankrupt, and then Dolly Parton bought it in the 80s, I think.
Something like that.
So, yeah, that's legit.
Speaking of Dolly Parton, I just love her.
You know a funny story? My grandparents lived in Brentwood, which is just outside of Nashville. And there used to be a guy named Porter Wagner who had a morning show on after the news and stuff. That was back when they'd have filler between, say, the morning news and when soap operas started around midday. And Dolly Parton got her start on his show.
Oh, really?
She's from Pigeon Forge, and she got on there and did a duet, I think, with Porter Wagner. And that's how she was like a regular guest on the show. And she was like known as a country music singer, but she didn't really break out into movies and stuff until the early 80s. I think 9 to 5 was one of her first movies. Sorry, don't know who that is. But yeah, that's it. And and she's from Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I remember as a little kid watching her play the guitar on Porter Wagner's show.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And she's been married. She's a very interesting person in that she's been married to the same guy, I think the only guy, since like the 60s, but you would never know. I mean, he's not in the public eye at all. She's worth more money than God, but I mean, you'd never know.
Nope.
It's very interesting. So yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
She has a cool story.
Very neat story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh
my
word.
gosh. Turn your phone off.
Sorry.
It's just plain rude. Okay.
Why
So
call me twice? It's weird.
What else happened this past week?
This past week?
We got cross country going on. So we got Garrett cross country. We got Clay cross country. So we've been doing a lot of cross country, and
It's
I got
pretty
to
much over,
go
isn't
to
it? Is it pretty much over?
almost. It's getting close.
Yeah.
Holden's not done yet, but Johnny's getting.
Johnny had a good race the other day. Had a PR. It's 10
37.
Yeah.
Something like that.
These were a good race.
And I got to go to Grandparents' Day today because none of my grandparents could be.
How did it go?
It was good. I wasn't called a grandparent at least.
That's good.
That I know you're laughing because you knew that was going to
No,
happen.
we were laughing
You
this
were
morning.
waiting for someone to go, is that your grandson?
No, I was waiting. Yes. Okay, we made a joke this morning. I said, is this going to happen or not? So it didn't.
It did
great.
not happen.
Make you feel great.
Because I made sure several times throughout the morning to say, oh, Calvin, are you so happy that Dad's going to be home when we get home? Or are your brothers super excited to hear about your grandparents? I'm so sorry your grandparents.
Did you go, what's my name again?
I know, exactly.
Mom, I've said it 5 times.
I wasn't the only mom there, so it was good.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
So yeah, it was fun. It was hilarious. He's so funny. Oh my gosh.
We were playing Punch Out yesterday. I told you this. We were downstairs playing Punch Out, and he was laughing so hard because the characters are on Punch Out. It's based on Mike Tyson's Punch Out from NES 1987. But the characters are so stupid, and I mean the graphics are so bad. And he's laughing. He kept saying, "Why is he walking like that?" It's like 1987. Trust me. This was cutting edge stuff back in the late 80s. But we were laughing, and he wanted to play it when we got home today.
Yes.
And we were playing Mario a lot, and so yeah, it's great. It's a fun game for him to play, and the characters are funny. Glass Joe, Soda Popinski, Bald Bull,
oh my gosh.
Super Macho Man.
Those were the days when you thought that video games were like everything. We thought they were so cool and they were so pixelated and so.
Oh my God, though. I mean, I'm sure 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you look back at the games from today and think the same thing.
We thought the game that I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I thought that the game that hung the moon was that Dragon Slayer.
Oh, it was like animated.
It was animated. Do you remember that?
It was
and
like
that
a
was
story.
like the big.
That was like
thing.
a big arcade game.
Yeah, it was an arcade game.
What's fascinating to me is we have Emily bought me a couple years ago for my birthday an old arcade cabinet that has, I don't know, 50, 60, whatever games, number of games that are on there. And it's fascinating to me because the games, you can fit so many games into one console because they don't take any memory.
Yeah.
I mean, the memory capacity you have now is just insane.
Insane, yeah.
So it's fun. But yeah, had a lot of fun on him this weekend. The weather was kind of rough. I don't think he got out of his pajamas all day yesterday.
I think he was in pajamas all day.
He switched from one set of pajamas to the next set of pajamas at bedtime.
Yeah, he had a good day. That's like sometimes that you just need those days.
Did some shopping, got some Williams and Sonoma stuff. You know you're getting old when you get excited about cookie sheets, and I'm going, ooh, these are good quality cookie sheets, aren't they? Non-stick. Wow.
And we cooked on the Traeger, which is one of our favorite things to do over the weekend.
Yeah,
We cooked some chicken.
Harrison's making fun of us because our meal prep Tupperware. Is this your meal prep Tupperware, Dad?
we made our lunches for the whole week. Tatum would be so proud of us.
Good stuff too, yeah.
So we cooked our vegetables and we put them in there and our
cheat a little bit. There's a little bit of mac and cheese in there, so there's a bit of a cheat, but that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Tatum doesn't have to know about that.
She doesn't. Well, she kind of does now. So anyway.
All right. So, so that was a wrap for the week. So
Good week,
now,
what's going on this week?
just
two
more of the
shoot-
same.
two
We've got
shoots to, this
we've
week.
got you guys are doing some work with King Media, and we have Dr. Pohl starting next Monday.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's just
Is the 14th a Monday?
exciting.
God, halfway through.
Things are changing and
October
growing
already.
and exciting. So yeah,
So yeah, Doctor, tell us a little bit about Dr. Pools.
Dr. Pohl's is joining us. She's a small animal veterinarian who has a
from
great
Colorado.
skill set.
No, she's from Colorado.
I know she's from Colorado, but
Well, they don't. That's what I said.
okay. And she can do surgery
Colorado
and
State grad?
dentistry, and
So yeah,
so it's pretty exciting.
yeah. She's she's 2 years, right?
Yeah. Yes.
She graduated Dudley.
A year older than Dudley.
Okay, she's a 17 grad. Okay.
Yeah. So so it's awesome. We have like one from every year. We have
There you go.
Duckwall, Dudley, Poles, and then we skip a bunch of years, and then we have Faust and Cloud, and then we skip a lot of years, and then we have me.
Yeah, a lot of years.
I'm like the dinosaur. You know, I
lot of
remember
years.
when I worked for Kreider, and I remember Kreider was turning 50, and I was like, oh my God, he's so old. I remember thinking,
I know,
wow,
right?
I've been out of school that many years. I remember thinking when I worked with Mike Lacapo, and when I graduated, he'd been out 10 years. And I was like, man, I wonder what it's like to be out 10 years.
Did he graduate vet school in '86?
No, how many? No, he went 6 years. Remember, he was.
Yeah, that's true. He's
He
24.
graduated in, yeah.
He's 24 in '86.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, man, to be as smart as Mike Lacapo, that was a goal.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty exciting.
It is funny though how you get. I thought about this the other day. I remember when we first moved into our home, our current house in 2007. Our neighbor, maybe a year after that, had turned 50 and had this big party. And we're thinking, God, man, turning 50, that's insane. And that was only like what 15, 12
Yeah.
years ago or something. I'm probably 14. I'm considerably younger than him now, but maybe 15 years or so. But it does sneak up on you, that's for sure.
It does very
For
fast.
sure. And it's all relative. You don't. I remember somebody telling me, actually Joyce, the lady that used to watch Harrison, she was, in that age range. And I remember her saying that even though she was older, she didn't feel older mentally or otherwise.
Right.
Physically you feel older just because of the wear and tear. But yeah, it's interesting. So
Yep.
I've always thought that was one of life's cruelest jokes is that you know the most when you feel the worst and you know the least when you feel the best.
That is true.
And how much knowledge you build up over contextually. A 90-year-old has so much more life context than someone who's 30.
Yes.
Relative.
That's
so
true.
It's interesting.
Because you've been through a lot more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, family picture of the week. Dun, 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 dun. This is brought out because Dad had stuff happening this morning that he was not happy about.
Oh no. Okay.
So-
Context.
so
if I get upset, which is not
because he
often,
was-
I don't get upset often.
Harrison?
I don't get upset often. Legit upset often. But when I come in, I've
Does he
lost
get in
60
the-
days worth of QuickBooks data. That's cause for concern.
It is cause for concern. And the face comes out. So,
No, my mind immediately goes to what do I have to do to correct it, and that's what, if anything, puts me in a bit of a tiffy mood.
so
That's why.
this is for you, for your moment today.
That's it.
You ready?
Well, yeah.
This is Dad this morning. Can you zoom in on
No,
Harrison?
that's Johnny. Johnny.
This is Johnny when he was just one. We just moved into the house we're currently
He's in his pumpkin seat.
He's in his pumpkin seat, and he said, I don't want to be in here. I'm so angry. And this picture, I keep this picture, believe it or not.
No, you do not.
Did you keep, Harrison, did you get a close-up of it? That I keep this picture inside my cabinet of my work in my office, inside my cabinet door. So I can open it when I'm having a bad day and go, just get over it. So, Mr.
There you
King,
go.
there you go. Do you see that face?
Yes, I see that face. That's hysterical. That is JJ. I mean, that is him to a T.
Isn't that adorable with his
Wow.
blonde hair and his curls? And he was not happy because somebody put him in his entertainment saucer and he didn't want to be there.
It's so funny how I think back to
So
I see
cute.
those stories. See that you can see that actually here where someone, I don't know who it was. someone who my memory escapes. These things here, this entertainment system are entertainment,
not an entertainment
shelves
system. It
on
was
either
like-
side of the fireplace. We came in and they're just gone, and I was like, "What happened? Did they somehow decide to move out, or what happened?"
They needed to come out. It was time. But, however, I did remove them, and then our cat brought in a chipmunk. Remember that? The chipmunk went...
No, we were leaving.
And
We
that's
were
what
leaving to go to the
escaped
lake, and it ran in, and we had a piece of where the baseboard behind the refrigerator had come, and it was like a
Yeah.
hole, and it tore, and just like he ain't getting out of there,
Hey,
man.
Get out of there. He's stuck in there.
And then one
So-
time, our babysitter, we came home and they had one cornered. It used to happen all the time. It doesn't happen really anymore. Yeah.
So, yeah, I keep that in the office. And when the doctors are having a bad day, I just show them this picture.
Right.
This is what you're doing today. And they're like,
That's so funny.
and it makes them laugh.
What's the name of that thing, Harrison, that's really popular now? It's not fake face. What's it called?
Age. Like
DeepFake?
age you.
Deepfake, where they go
Deepfake?
in and they'll take someone's like a series of pictures and superimpose it on like something else, so it looks like, say, Joe Rogan's face. It looks like he's talking on someone else's body.
Oh, weird.
Is it called deepfake? Yeah, it's really weird.
That is
They
very
said
strange.
it brings up all kinds of copyright stuff, and because you can, the implications are you could, in effect, fake a video
Oh,
of
yeah.
somebody saying or doing something that they never did.
Oh yeah, that's just gonna continue to get
So it's really-
worse and worse,
it's really
or more
interesting.
more possible as time goes on with the technology.
Right.
It's just gonna be easier to do.
So
It'll
what
be
else have we been
fascinating.
doing?
Well, we had to take a break on Leaders Eat Last because with me being gone, the doctors, so we're behind 1 week. So next week we'll revisit the book
Okay.
Leaders Eat Last. So we've got part 4.
I need to read that. I just need to buy my own copy.
That we're going to be doing for next week. Oh my gosh.
That's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird. That looks like, oh my gosh. You could imitate somebody.
Oh yeah.
That is crazy. So they just superimpose your face.
They do
onto-
something. Harrison probably knows more about it, but
You can tell that's Jimmy Fallon.
Basically, what they do is there's a software that you input in thousands upon thousands of pictures of somebody, and then it takes those pictures, puts them together, and puts it on another person's face to make it
almost
look
like
like
Now
an
animation.
animation.
listen. I just want to put this out there. Don't be doing this for Dr. King Says, and you want to be me, I know, really bad. So I don't want to see you put yourself on my Dr. King Says videos.
Okay, got it.
Got it? Because I know you're itching to do that.
Oh, absolutely, I am. How did
So-
you ever know?
I know. You either, Harrison. I know you guys really, really, really have a desire to become me, but it's
You know what
just-
is funny?
just
Whenever
can't.
I talk sometimes, or I'll call somebody, they always say Dr. King,
When you call somebody?
or like they'll whatever I'm calling, and they'll say, "Okay, Dr. King." It's like, you just stop correcting them after a while because it just happens so often. It's like whatever.
Oh,
Carry on.
goodness.
Let's
Carry
finish this
on.
phone
That's
call.
right.
So that's it. We've taken a huge deep dive on Downton Abbey. Continue to love that show. Season 3.
Oh, that is our new binge watching show.
Yeah, that's a great show. Love it. I never thought I would. I thought, what? No, but it's good.
Yeah, my
really-
sister and my parents told us about that, and so we've been watching it.
We need to finish watching The Crown too. That's
We
good,
need to
too.
finish watching it so we can see the movie.
Yeah. It sounds like things don't get better.
Oh,
I think financially things get worse.
oh,
So yeah, it's not good.
okay.
Someone made some bad investments.
Oh, that's not good.
Q Lord Crowley.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't invest in
gosh.
railroads.
Railroads were going to be the thing, though. Back then, probably.
Not in Canada.
Apparently not.
They got absorbed. Although, well, I won't give it away. No spoiler alert. Anybody who hasn't seen it, although it probably won't matter. I remember there was one part of the show where they make a bad investment, all the money in one particular pot of, one investment, and it doesn't go well. And I told her, I was like, who on earth puts large sums of money into one investment without diversification? It makes no sense.
Well, clearly the
Clearly,
Crawleys.
Lord Crawley did. So.
And so we're gonna have to find out the ramifications
Yes.
of that
So, yeah.
nonsense.
It'll be good. It is. It's interesting though about that show. It's fascinating to me, and they talk about the aristocracy and the wealth, the concentration of wealth, things like that. But how they didn't do hardly anything for themselves. Everything was done for them.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They basically just existed. They had people that waited on them literally hand and foot.
Yeah.
I mean, from doing their hair to drawing a bath to, I mean, it's insane. You go, what? I mean, how much money must it have taken? I've said this before watching that show. It must have taken a fortune just to employ all these people. But then there's one part of the show recently where they discuss how it's their duty as aristocrats to be a major employer of the county.
Right.
So, it's fascinating to see how people lived back then and how, I'm sure you probably have that to a certain extent today. You hear people with housekeepers and things like that, but I doubt it's to that extent today.
Oh yeah, I doubt it.
People with vast sums of money, but it's a fascinating show. I love I'm a big fan of period things. So Emily doesn't really care for them so much, but I like them a lot.
I like the storyline though.
I like to see. To the extent it gives a window into the past and how people actually lived.
Yeah.
There's always, artistic license with those things. But, to see the formality and all that stuff and how the distinction between, say, the family and the servants, and also see how the family extended out. So you have cousins, you have all these people that are included within the clan, so to speak. And then you had everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good show.
Very good show.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say something else.
Watched the game last night. Didn't make it through all of it.
Oh my gosh, go Colts! That was so exciting. They looked really good.
Yeah, they did look good. I thought the Chiefs would give them a bigger run for their money.
Well, they had a bunch of injuries. I mean, they were dropping like flies.
Speaking of injuries,
The Chiefs were. I mean, it was like boom, 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 and then Patrick McCone, boom, like his ankle, and that. I mean, like there was like injury after injury after injury.
Speaking of injuries, the Steelers QB took a hit yesterday.
Oh man, that was bad.
I don't think I've ever seen a hit that bad.
Yeah, that was.
And it wasn't. It was basically a sandwich between two guys, and one guy was just going for the ball. And there was a quote this morning in the news, and he said, "I was just going for the ball. I don't want to hurt anybody." But he just caught him just right on the chin and literally starched him. You'd think you were watching a UFC fight.
Yeah, it looked like a boxer.
I mean, he just went down and his limbs curled up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it turns out the reason he had to walk off the field is their cart didn't work. And so the head coach of the Steelers gets really mad, and they ask him, and he goes, "I don't know. I don't drive carts." You go ask the person that's supposed to drive the cart why it didn't work.
Oh man, I didn't realize
because remember they had his face mask off.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was
one of the announcers said, "I wonder why they're not."
He couldn't make it off the field. I mean, they were literally carrying. He was stumbling off the field.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was that he's in the hospital. I mean, it's like taking I don't know. I have my own opinion about that stuff.
Well, that was it. Yeah, it was a major.
It was a bad hit, very bad, and you can see why football though gets such a bad rap. Because somebody watching that says, "I don't want to see my kid starched on the field."
Well, no, I'm just surprised the number of injuries. I mean, like they're just
too big.
They're constantly getting injured, and they're constantly out the next game or whatever game
And I don't think they're really healthy. I mean, you saw the QB last night from the Chiefs. I mean, he was limping hard on that ankle, and then he's doing plays too. I mean, it's like how that can't self-correct that quickly.
Right.
So, I think they play. I remember I forget who it was. Jimmy Johnson maybe said it. He said there's 2 days when you're healthy: the day before the season, and the day directly after. You're just not. He's like, you're not healthy the entire time.
The entire time. I would think that you're just nursing things.
And you watch the games now. You even see these guys. We saw something the other day where the guy goes up. He's like 6'4" and goes up for a pass. Jumps way high and then lands on his back. That can't feel good. I mean, you have to. I mean, I guess you get used to it, but man, that's just horrific.
I don't know how they do that. Yeah,
and the speed at which they're moving. I mean, TV doesn't quite capture it. When we go to the games, it does capture it. The speed that those players are running at and moving at is just, and they crash into one another. It's just unbelievable. Seems inhuman almost.
Right.
I mean, just elite athletes, and I think to your point. The body can only take so much.
I think they take their helmets off, and you'd see less.
Well, people have theorized. I mean, they'll say you want to really reduce the injuries in football, give them leather helmets and take their shoulder pads away.
Yeah.
Because then you really get hurt. I mean, you're basically wearing body armor effectively.
Yeah.
So you can you can really hit somebody hard without fear of necessarily injury to yourself.
Right.
But the other person takes a lick.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Harrison, would you let your child play football?
No.
You wouldn't?
Well,
No.
you could play Pee Wee or something.
So you wouldn't let it? Yeah, but then what if they start playing it and they really like it, and then they're
I would let them play.
Okay, real quick, we're talking about Harrison's kid here. Unless there's some recessive gene we're talking about in terms of football, he's gonna get in there and do about how Harrison did. Hate every minute of it, even flag football. I'll never forget being on the sidelines when you and your dad, Harrison, playing flag football at Cherry Tree, and you're looking at there going, I just don't see the intensity. I'm like, second grade. It's flag football.
would you? So you wouldn't let them play?
No, I would not let them play. I would let them play. If they insisted on playing, I would let them play until they got their first injury, and then
Well, they're gonna get injured.
And I'd say no. I mean, like until their first serious injury. Like if it was
Concussions?
I guess the only thing I'm worried, is a concussion. If they got their first concussion, I'd pull them out.
What about soccer?
Yeah, I'd let them play soccer.
What about concussions in soccer?
Well, I feel like
not the
they're,
same, but
they're
it's
less
close.
prevalent in football or in soccer than they are football.
I don't know. You're hitting your head with the ball. They say that's like you get concussed.
It's not a natural movement.
Maybe at the age groups. It's
I think that the main reason why I would let them play soccer instead of football and why I wouldn't be as worried about concussions would be because in soccer, if you're hitting the soccer ball with your head, you know that you're going to hit the soccer ball with your head. Like your intention is to do so. But with football, you could be blindsided and be hit in the head and just be like completely like out of it.
not know.
And just
Some people even theorize, though, even like the lineman, they say even just that the hitting, even if it's not, if it's what's low speed. I mean, you're kind of micro concussed all the time when you do that.
I just think those linemen, like their backs, like it's
Oh,
such an
God.
unnatural.
Yeah, you see that kind of upward. It's got to be, and it's got to be awful on you. I remember there was a podcast I listened to where they had an ex NFL lineman on there, and he talked about it, and he said that there's a vested interest on getting you back in the field as quickly as possible, regardless.
Well, sure,
of
it's a business. I'm
yeah.
sure they're.
So he's like, I can't. And he actually had to retire. He's like, my back it was too messed up. And he was like 25 or something, just nuts. And you think 25 in your back, what are you going to be at 55?
Yeah.
I mean, when things really start to go bad. And that's why I even think about the fighters, the UFC guys. You'll hear about all these injuries, and I'm like, you're not even 30. I mean, are you going to be able to move when you're older? So, yeah.
It's crazy.
But anyway.
Crazy.
Anyway.
Okay, so next week we said we got polls starting. We've got Amanda coming in. We were sorry to see Kayla Biddles go because she's our head
She's our
human
director of
resource
operations.
person, but she's taken a job with her church, which is super exciting for her and her family because John, also her husband, works at the church.
Mm-hmm.
So they are super excited about that opportunity. That's probably been something she's wanted to do.
Right.
And now the church is available to be able to do that. So she has stepped out, and now we have Amanda Knutson coming in. Knutson.
Mm-hmm. He's stepping in October 28th.
Yeah.
Should be here then.
It's a special day that she's starting on the 28th. It's my birthday on the 28th. So, yeah, we're super excited about that. We got lots of stuff
Lots of
going
fun
on
this month. You and I both have birthdays this month.
Yep. And so does Trevor.
I can't believe I'm 38. It's insane. Where's the time gone?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Oh, gosh. So, and then, yeah, we'll also talk about the book.
Yeah.
So,
Book. Anything else going on?
Harrison, any other news?
No new news? Are you sure? Okay. Just checking to make sure you're awake over there.
He's
Okay.
monitoring the output.
Let's see if there's anything else going on.
I think that's a wrap for today.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll close today's session with that.
Yeah, sure.
You want to do the outro and see if you can
No, I did the intro. You do the outro.
No, you do the outro.
Why?
Because I want to see. Let's see your energy. Just go.
What?
Your energy.
What do you usually say? I don't even know what you usually say.
Lori Backus said, this is all she said. Emily's pregnant. That's all she said.
No.
I hope not.
She's in her chair at home or at work laughing right now because she thinks she's funny. That is not true.
People have
Lori
asked me
Backus.
before, would you ever try for a little girl? I was like,
No.
no, I wouldn't, because I'd have twin or triplet girls. I guarantee it.
Yes. No. And because I'm 50 and I was going to
You're
be
not
called
50
a
yet.
grandparent at my child's school function.
Well, you weren't though. So
I wasn't. It was a good day.
So yeah, you're fine.
Lots
Lots of good stories about Bacchus. We
Oh
gotta
my
have her on. Oh my god,
we gotta have Lori Bacchus
Golf
on the
outings.
podcast. Oh,
Harrison throwing dice. All kinds of
we
great
got so
stories.
many good stories with the Bacchus family. Oh,
Slip and slides.
oh, jeez, yes, Trevor and Lori.
Trevor being a pantry bandit.
Pantry bandit. So okay, yeah. So let's
Party buses.
Let's wrap it. IU Party Bus. Let's wrap it up for this week, and we will see you guys next week on Five Boys in a Business. Don't forget to check out the merch page for All Star Veterinary Clinic on merch at asvcmerch.com. asvcmerch.com.
What's on there right now? Just
For whatever reason, I cannot remember that website.
The merch store contains the long sleeve all-star shirt and the short sleeve all-star shirt. The short sleeve all-star shirt is $18, while the long sleeve all-star shirt is $22, and you can catch them at asvcmerch.com.
Boom.
Richie is actually one of the models, so if you want to go check out his picture, go there.
Yes, I am.
Yep. Along with some of our other staff members who did a great job.
I got a request
We're
for a
gonna have
signed picture the other day, and I had to ignore it. It's like,
We
I
are-
can't do it. There's just too many.
Lori said, "Oh, how I miss you guys."
Oh, we miss
You as well.
Lori. So we're gonna drag her on the podcast,
Oh, no.
and she's gonna hate us. Okay, so all right, that's it,
That's it.
and we're gonna add more stuff to the merch store as we come into the end of the year.
That's
so
right.
Be on the lookout. And thanks everybody for listening and being a part of the podcast. Thanks for providing all the memories, and we'll see you next time.
This is Five Boys in a Business. We're out.